Please leave a message after the...
Do you guys know anything about the sexual education that they do now in primary school, secondary school?
No, what was that? Pornhub? I don't know.
No, Jolene.
All right, cool.
We're not talking about your education. We're talking about the current education.
No, you're right. Yeah. My bad.
It's funny. I actually spoke about this topic with some people recently. So yeah, I'll see. I think I'll have one or two things to say.
All right, let me go first.
What's the age? All
right, let's go primary school backwards. Lowered. Let's go from nine down.
Mm-hmm.
9 down, did he say?
Yeah. Well, let me. I'll get to this in a second. So let me just go off why I'm passionate about this. So my nephew came up to me, and he was asking me things that I thought was insane. When I was in I learned sex education when I was in secondary school in year 8. So at the time, that must have been I was 12, 13, right?
Yeah.
He is 7. And he's asking me things about, what's the vagina and this, that, and the other. And now, here's my problem. In this day and age, in this society in particular,
right,
technology is so crazy with the internet and free porn. Kids don't need any encouragement to find out about the birds and the bees at all. So them lowering the age, keep lowering the age of sexual education is insane. Now, there's another clip I'm going to play you because this is an international institution. There is an international organization that are trying to lower the bar of sexual education down to the year of 5 and 4 years old. I was sent a WhatsApp clip of 3 grown people talking about why a 5-year-old child needs to know about sexual intercourse and STDs. I thought I was losing my fucking mind. It was absolutely insane. I thought these people were disturbed. I thought they were just wrong. I thought it was sick. And the shit my nephew was telling me, he's smiling. The shit my nephew was telling me, I was like, this ain't right. And he didn't have any concept of it. It was so innocent. Right. But them putting shit in his mind is going to make him go online and start looking at this shit. Right. And I just think it's wrong. But you know what? Before like I said, I haven't got the energy.
That rant is coming.
It's a little bit. So I'm going to play you a video talking about this organization because it's an international movement. This ain't American. No.
Yeah.
They internationally think they should lower the age of sex because of STD and I know kids are growing up faster. I understand. But this shit, why don't you take a listen to this and see what you guys think?
Yeah, go then.
As president of the American College of Pediatricians, I am deeply concerned about comprehensive sexuality education for 4 reasons. First, it sexualizes children. Second, it threatens children's health. Third, it promotes a dangerous gender ideology. And fourth, it undermines the parent-child relationship, which violates parental rights.
My life's work has been to protect children by exposing the roots of the sexual revolution, the sexual rights movement that's led to sex education worldwide, globally.
There is a worldwide war raging across the globe. Not a war of guns and weapons, but a war of ideas, ideologies, and worldviews regarding sex.
This is just part of the lesson plan for what's called Making a Difference curriculum, and it is in Oregon schools and probably schools around the nation. This is instructions for the teacher in the classroom to ask her or his students, how do people express their sexual feelings? What is abstinence? And here are some answers that they try to elicit from the children. Oral sex, masturbation, anal sex, massage, holding hands, touching each other's genitals, saying, I like you. And what they're doing is equating all these things. Saying, I like you is equal to anal sex.
What? Yeah.
What's that last bit?
You heard that right, Jolie?
I like you to anal sex.
Does that person have a
I tried to like my wife many times, but that's always fails. Always fails. I have to, God. Well,
so what does love your wife mean? What
oh gosh, that's a double no for that. Yeah. I mean, you know what? I would say this. I got
more to say, but
you can say more because I can see you ready to go. I can see that Super Saiyan level.
So basically, my nephew just had his first prom, and and he's 9. So, generally, what do you think happens at the end of a poem? I mean, isn't it like a known kind of thing, at the end of the poem?
Just go to an East Side Motel. Oh, so I don't know. Yeah, but what year is he in?
9. No, sorry.
Oh, he's 9.
He's 9.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And at primary school,
right,
they're having an end of year poem where they're telling the children they need a date.
Right.
They need to find a girlfriend to go to the prom.
Well, that's weird. I mean, I thought it'd be implied, but that's just weird anyways. But yeah.
Oh, man. They're actually saying
you feel like it. I can see your face. You feel like they're forcing it, or they're kind of pushing their agenda. Is that
pushing?
Is that what you're implying?
In terms of sexuality, they're pushing children to go up faster than I think they need to, and I think society on its own is bad enough with free access to porn and sex and everything. It's already there,
right?
And they feel the need that, you know what? I guess they could use that as a fuel to say that's why we need to teach them more, because they have access to all this stuff. That's why we need to go hard and go fast. But kids are still, although society's changed around them, we're still human. And I still, when I see my nephew, he's so flipping innocent. It's ridiculous how naive he is. I wouldn't say innocent. He's very, very naive. Very, very naive. Yeah. He doesn't even know what his erection is doing or anything like that. And they're already telling you that, if a girl says she likes you, that means she wants anal sex.
Yeah, no, that obviously was ridiculous.
That I don't think that will fly with like normal people. Like whoever that person is.
They're teaching. They're already teaching like, these are the codes you have to be aware of. They're putting things out there that kids don't even know. What is this? What is anal sex?
No, I would say, look, one thing, right? Because I'm probably going to disagree with you here. I think knowledge is power, and it does embolden them, just giving them sufficient tools. I don't like the idea of trying to kind of engineer them in a sort of way where they can actually sexualize everything. So I would probably disagree with the prom, because when you're 9 years old, you don't look for a girlfriend. You just want to play sports or whatever.
That's
just
right.
Be a kid. I'll agree with that. In terms of actually understanding, I think the earlier you teach them, the better for me, as young as whatever, because I just think that understanding and taking away stigmas and taboos, so young girls and boys know the functionality of what happens, rather than hearing. Because I remember growing up, it was all about, you felt shy. You didn't know. You definitely didn't want to speak to your family about it. I would think in a kind of I would say a sterile atmosphere like a school. If they were going to teach it, kids will obviously laugh about it, but there is it's educational, and that's a very important thing. Taking away taboos and uncertainties, because at least you'll actually know your decisions moving forward. But anything to kind of just say, well, you guys need to start doing anal, then that's obviously ridiculous.
That's fine. And I agree with what you're saying, but at the end of the day, humans and a young child is evolving. How much information can they actually discern and comprehend at the right age? Why don't you give a baby a knife and fork? Hey, you need to know how to cut your food, right? You're not actually thinking that this is dangerous, if you use it the wrong way, you can hurt yourself. But you need to know. It's like at a certain age, you need to dole these things out at a certain time. But they're deciding that, because it's already out there, they need to go out fast. But are they absorbing this shit, or are they just like, okay, mommy, when's your period coming? Mommy, what the fuck?
But you eventually teach them how to use a knife and fork. I'm not saying do it when they're like 1. Yeah. But I'm just saying you eventually have to teach them. But I don't.
But use your common sense. And
common sense in that way,
to figure out when's the right time. And I'll ask you two. When did you guys learn sexual education in school? What do you do?
Probably about 12.
Okay, that's about the same time. And do you think that's the wrong age? Do you think it should be lowered? Primary school? Secondary school?
For me, yeah. I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with
that. What's your lower barrier then? Because he's already getting. What's your lowest barrier then to sex education? Then?
Right, I'll probably say like 7, 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Just
a full course meal, yeah, the whole shebang.
Well, I said at least people understand how it operationally works, the functionality of what your body is, and understanding. So there's no misunderstandings when they're growing up.
So if they show your 7-year-old genital herpes, do you think that's a bit much?
Well, I would say in terms of let me finish. So in terms of the details,
yeah, go on.
See, because you could be throwing up all these examples. I was like, hey, how about you show them some Lisa Ann? One of my favorite stars. Well, how about you show them some Lisa Ann? And I was like, no, But I'm just saying, like, this is what it is. This is how it works.
That random, by the way. That's actually what they showed my nephew.
Well, you know, I'm going to go into this a bit more, but I'll let Stan go because he hasn't said anything. But I'll come back to it. How kind
of you? You've actually I think you mentioned Lisa Ann before. So
he has.
I think about 3 episodes.
He has empathy.
I think about 3 episodes.
I'm
hoping that she adds me on Twitter or something. But there you go.
I'm a pure-hearted guy, so I don't know who that is. As the young buck of the three of us, I actually had sex education when I was in primary school. So it was towards the end of primary school, and I think the perfect time to start learning is when puberty is starting to kick in, which is around towards the end of primary school. Now, in the case,
but you new young'uns, goddamn, wasn't that fast in my day.
Explain why you're such a sexual deviant right now, but yeah.
But the thing is, I do see, like you were mentioning before, it is such a difficult time for kids at the moment. You got social media problems, you got issues with, the sex education. When is the right time? So many pressures and stuff like that, and I think ultimately, adults, teachers, schools, they need to step in, okay, because I don't think you need to start. Yeah, you can do little tutorials and seminars on if an adult approaches you and touches you in this way, that's not right, because that is important, because pedophilia doesn't start from necessarily 12 or in the primary school. It can be much earlier. So teaching them little tidbits, such as when an adult is approaching you or grooming you or doing certain things to you, that's not right, and I think that's okay.
Sure, stranger danger.
Exactly. However, genital herpes, penetration and stuff like that, leave that until they are
the opposite sex's menstrual cycle. This is how a woman is.
Kids need to learn this. They need to learn this. So when their penis goes inside here, this is a menstrual cycle. This is we're like that.
Before puberty, I think, because teaching it before that time when they're not even thinking about that is, I think, counterintuitive and counterproductive. All they care about as a boy, most likely, is playing football or just messing around with friends, playing video games, etc., etc.
But what is the fear of them learning at that age? Let's say 6, 7, 8, whatever. I mean, because if they're learning about other bodily functions, be it, I don't know, how you potty train them, you teach them how to eat, you teach them about all this, but when it comes to anything that's remotely related to your sexual, reproductive organs, I mean, what is the worst thing that could happen if they did learn about that? Because I think there's an implication that people think that they'll be sexualized and then they'll start jumping around like rabbits, and they're 9 years old and you find they're playing, doctors and nurses,
to back up
and then that doctor's going to be fucking all the nurses, and you're like, holy shit, I shouldn't have taught him about this, but you know what I'm saying?
To back up Jolie's point, actually, when I learned about it towards the end of primary school, it went through one ear and it sat in my brain for a couple of weeks and then just went out the other again, because
it did on my nephew as well. To back up even your point, it did on my nephew. He didn't get it at all.
Right, exactly.
But
right.
He did start looking and getting curious, and then I don't want to get into it, but he started playing with things. I was like, it never would have happened if the school didn't introduce it first. At the end of the day, and again, the message was someone was a bit misled that they didn't illustrate the finer points. Anyway, this is a very controversial, this is a new thing. This is a controversial way they're doing it. They want to take a deep dive at an early age. I personally think that, to Jodie's point, I don't think there's anything wrong with education to a certain point.
Yeah.
I just think that you can't take it by case basis. Puberty is different for everyone. Some people go up way quicker than others, and as things have gone, I don't know, society's changed. People are going through puberty much younger, statistically showing. Birth rates I'm not scared of sex education. It did go in my ear out the other. To me, it's just a double whammy. I do think that the world with fashion and music is over-sexualized anyway, more than it was when I was growing up. So again, I'm drawing on my own experiences, why I'm biased.
No, I would agree.
In a certain way.
Snapchat, Instagram, all this stuff, you see
exactly.
Everything everywhere.
So when the school, it's like everyone's raising the bar up.
Right.
And my only thing is, that's fine, but kids' mental capacity, unless I'm missing something, I don't know how I'm mature and smarter kids are getting. Maybe that's why I'm out of the loop. I'm just like, especially with my nephew in particular, I was like, he doesn't get it. Fine, it's gone in one ear and out the other, but he's starting to think about things before, he's getting distracted thinking about sexual things when he should be thinking about other things when he was just playing anyway. It's just adding another layer. Well, what's the fucking rush? This is going to be for life anyway.
You know what? I guess, as I mentioned before, the key element for me is just to empower them with knowledge. However, I guess this is all about choice, about how you'd want your kids to learn it. Now, the lady who left the voicemail, that kid, her kid, is asking all these questions. She said, well, did I want the kid to be presented this way? Perhaps if there was a school choice where saying, would you like us to teach your kid, sexual education or not? Because if you don't, opt out here. Just tick this box. And then, okay, is that what they do now?
Yeah, she said
it's optional.
She said it was optional. And then she came back and she was just surprised.
Is that what she said? She said it was optional. They still taught it.
Yeah, he bought a set to sign for it. And then she just didn't understand the level that they've gone to now.
Well, then the school fucked up. If she said, I guess they should probably show her the material when she opts out, to be honest there. But I mean, even so, if she's opted out and the school still taught the kid...
No, she opted in.
She opted in.
She opted in.
Oh, she opted in?
Yeah.
Oh, well then...
So it's her fault.
She should have, yeah. I mean, if she opted out, I'd be like, oh, I'm pissed. But if she opted in, then... Or maybe they probably should have reviewed the details.
I feel for her.
It should be a choice. And then maybe that will give the decision for parents to say, I'm going to teach a kid, or our family's going to teach the stuff. They got any other personal questions they can ask me. Or the other ones opting in, they can let it out of school.
All right, well, Stanley got a last point for you.
I just feel for her because, obviously it looks like she wasn't aware of how deep things were going to get. But it is up to parents. If you are not comfortable for whatever reason, then you have to take the initiative and actually say, okay, I'm going to take my kid out. If you guys are doing sex education classes later on down the line in later years, happy days. But I'm going to take my kid out at this stage. It's up to parents to also actually make those proactive steps as well.
Please leave another message at voiceofmail.com.